All right, happy Sunday night, everybody. Welcome to the Rewind. Glad you're hanging out with us. Cowboy fans, just look away. Don't watch any more of it. It should hopefully be over by now. Chiefs fans, well, it was another easy Sunday, right? What do you have to do to win today? They asked when they woke up. Oh, you're going to have to block a chip shot field goal with 1 second remaining, with no chance to block it, and that's what it's going to take to win. Okay, so, Chiefs fans are doing their thing today. And then Texas Tech fans, hopefully moderated down a little bit from yesterday. Obviously, we were traveling on the road. I got to see most of the fourth quarter in real time and have kind of caught up on everything. So we'll get your thoughts on the game tonight. I'll give you my thoughts on what happened. You give me yours, and we'll rock and roll on down the avenue and see what we got tonight. So get in with your comments. Thanks to United Supermarket and Market Street. We're in the Arctic Air Studios. Our air was quite Arctic in Red River, watching it snow anywhere between 3 feet and 18 inches in town, 3 feet in the upper valleys. And then obviously it took us a while to get home because every road was blocked until Saturday, and we finally got home. A circuitous route we took, but it wasn't too bad. So glad we're with you tonight. Let's talk a little tech football. Your thoughts on the game, your comments. I'll give you mine, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. Product placement. There you go. I'm losing my touch. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You started your day on the website. I know you did. Looking at that 5 things we know in a Sunday column. Tell us from the road if you hadn't checked it out. Go check it out. We always appreciate your comments and additions to our column. Certainly not a message board. We got a gnat. The gnats are back, baby. We got a gnat tonight. That's how you know I'm back in the Arctic Air Studios, apparently. So we always appreciate your comments and everything. It's not a message board, but you can comment on anything and everything we do because there's this thing at the bottom. It says comments and whatnot. So, yay. Yeah, that's good, right? That's real good. So we got that going for us tonight here in the Arctic Air Studios. Where do we want to begin? 41-27, the loss. I'm seeing the comments come in again. For some reason, people on Facebook, it shows up on my end as Facebook user and not your name. So if you're commenting on Facebook tonight, throw your name in there. I don't want to appear rude by not using your name. I think everybody on the other end can see who's commenting. I don't know why. But that's just the way it is. So our Facebook people, throw your name in there when you comment. YouTube, it's not a problem. I get everything on YouTube and whatnot. So when you comment, just add your name at the end of the comment or at the beginning of the comment. We'll give you our thoughts, and then we'll start going through the comments tonight on everything, and we go from there, So, first off, congratulations, Tahj Brooks. Well earned, well deserved. I don't know that I've seen a running back get more yardage after contact and do what he's done, really not by himself, certainly. But I mean, you may have to go back to James Hadnot in the late 70s and have a Texas Tech running back who took more punishment, more abuse, knew it was coming, and still got yardage. James Gray had, some pretty good stuff around him in the late 80s. Bam Morris, up the hill, down the hall, bam, that's Tech football. He had a lot around him there with Robert Hall and, Lloyd Hill and some pretty good receivers. You get the idea. And I'm not demeaning the players around Tahj Brooks, but, man, for the most part, the offensive line he's played behind has been insufficient. The offensive line, those guys, including Byron Hanspard, whose record he just broke, were good offensive lines. The line that Hanspard had in the mid 90s, hell, they were huge. So we congratulate him. We'll talk tonight about the incredible disappearing offense. That it looks so good, and then it goes away. Why does it happen that way? What happens? Scripted, perhaps? Inability to adjust. Play calling selection that gets too cute. But it is the offense that proves that a lot of stats are meaningless when it comes to winning time. We also have the officiating that stank. And when I give you bad officiating, and when I give you horrible officiating, I then say, and then what? What do you do about it? What do you want to do about it? And what? You can go off like Utah's AD, Harlan, who got popped for 40,000 and doesn't want to be in the Big 12. Please don't leave. We love you in the Big 12. Dear Utah, please don't leave. The mystifying fourth down fake punt that led to nowhere. It was the bridge to nowhere. Why do you do that, Joey? Don't do that. Don't make life harder than it is right now or right then. There's no upside, even if you get it. You know what you have to do after that? Multiple more first downs. Punt the freaking ball. That wasn't analytics. That was Joey-lytics right there. That was a coach just, again, we use the term playing battleship. We're punching buttons. We don't know what to do. All of a sudden, you're on your, they've scored. You got to do it. There's no upside to it. And all of it leads to the loss. And all of it leads to another loss. And since that Arizona game, you've lost 3 of your last 4. You squandered a really good defensive effort for the most part yesterday. You can only put your defense in so many bad plays and bad situations. And we'll finish up tonight with asking you, as we go through tonight, now what? Open date. You went into the open date the last time feeling great. And, of course, you laid an egg against Baylor. Now you've got Oklahoma State and Washington, West Virginia to finish it up. All right. So there's what I've got tonight. You guys get in. Thanks to United Supermarkets on the chat line. Again, Facebook people, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I'm going to do a deal with StreamYard this week to try to find out what's not working or working. Obviously, you guys are getting it. We're having a huge amount of viewers on Facebook and YouTube and our Twitter people and everything else, but something goofy is going on. So we're going to get it addressed this week. So when you comment on Facebook, put your name on there or whatever your handle is or whatever you want to go by. All right. Let's get it going. Facebook user, according to the Utah AD, Coach McGuire and others, the officiating was on decline this weekend in the Big 12 games. We're looking into that. It's a deep dive here in Raiderland. We're hearing that some people may be disappointed with the level of officiating. As my friend says, beat the other team, the refs. You don't have to blame. That being said, the refs were flat bad. They were. The roughing the passer call played a role in the game. Did it decide the game? No. Did it play a role in the game? Yeah. And it was horrible. Horrible call. Baron Morton damn near gets decapitated. There in the fourth quarter, nothing. Chris is one of our Facebook people. I don't know which comment you had, but rock on. Glad you did. Jalapeno Burger 46. Is it time to give Hammond a look? I don't think so. I would be surprised if they did. Although Morton got the hell beat out of him, you could use that excuse. If you want to totally punt on the year, and I don't think you should, because you can absolutely beat Oklahoma State and West Virginia. And if you believe that Morton is the more experienced, better quarterback, and I think they do, then you ride him unless he's hurt. If you want to punt on the season, I don't think you should, because you can still get 8 wins. And that's the best you've done since 2009. There are people, and we'll get into this as the week goes on. This is still a team that has a chance to move the bar forward in the program. Joey McGuire is still ahead of all coaches in his first 3 years since, I think, Jim Carlin. And I know that's hard to fathom, but sometimes Tech fans forget where they've been. They do. So do I think it's time to go with Hammond? No. No, I do not. All right. Let's keep rocking on. Jared here, 4th and goal. I beg you to find anyone in the building that didn't think Tahj would get a handoff. Yeah. And where's the North Texas full house backfield, great looking set that I think is one of the best short yardage goal line looks? And I know they scored from it from 21 out, but it was short yardage. It was 4th and 1. Where'd that go? Where did that go? Where's that been? Jeff, we're not going to make it to the next level until we upgrade both our lines. Fact. And that's something we'll talk about over the next few weeks. And those who want like definitive statements and on the program and everything else, don't worry. 2 more games. Hard questions will be asked. I have no problem letting the season play out. It's not that long. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Baron Batch took some punishment as a running back at Tech. Yes, he did, but he turned into a fine artist. Another Facebook user. Again, I can't see your name. I know it probably shows up for what you guys are watching. I can't see it. Our line play has been atrocious to quite atrocious. Yeah, I would say, and again, on looking and evaluating a quarterback and going back to the Baron Morton question, I don't know how you can fairly evaluate a guy who's playing behind a substandard offensive line. I really don't. Chris here, or the plays not leading up to the fake punt, not screen, and fake punt. I have to go back and look and double check on the play progression. Either way, there's no upside, even if you get the fake punt executed. I don't get it. Jared, 4th and goal. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I skipped ahead on some stuff. Thumbs up on something. Everybody should give me thumbs up. Everybody should get all the commenters thumbs up. Everybody should share this. Our Twitter people, I know we've been having some issues on Twitter. I don't know what it is. We're going to get it figured out this week. That's why I tell everybody, subscribe to all 3 platforms. You can watch on Facebook. You can watch on YouTube. We need everybody on Facebook to go subscribe to YouTube. You don't have to watch it there, but drive it over, and all the YouTube people give us thumbs up. It moves the metric and everything else. There we go. Reckham on YouTube. Now we get to hear all about CU, all the talking points about our trashy students. I'm so tired of this program embarrassing themselves, clouding Tahj's record. So frustrating. Yeah, it's a shame that it didn't happen in a win. I think when, obviously, when Hanspard got the, I don't remember the game he got the record. I remember the game he got 2,000 yards. It was against Southwestern Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns, Nelson Stokely, Brandon Stokely, wide receiver, future NFLer, and it is frustrating. How about that fake punt? Nice play. Yeah, bad play. James on Facebook, is Kitley on the hot seat? The screen game is old. 2 games, James. 2 games left. We'll see where this program is. And Joey McGuire will have to make hard decisions on where he thinks this program is after 3 years. Joey McGuire's not going anywhere. And I'll tell you this, Kirby Hokut's not going to tell Joey McGuire who to keep or get rid of. That's going to be Joey McGuire after 2 more games. Jared, I'm worried about the Oklahoma State game coming out of bye week. Expectations were high with 0 confidence win Baylor team. What happens this time with Oklahoma State out of their bye? They're getting rid of their coach. Maybe. You're going to their place. You ought to feel desperate, losing 3 of the last 4. Hell, I don't know. You've had every reason to play great for the last 4 games, and you've, Dennis is on Facebook. That's a cool avatar picture. I can barely see it. Is that Staubach? It's so small on my screen. Dennis, tell me what that picture is, unless it's you. Now that Tahj has his record, can we see a little more of Williams hits the hole fast? You'll see some. Probably maybe work his way in a little bit more, but it's Tahj, and Tahj is still the guy, and I want Tahj out there, and defenses respect Tahj. But maybe work in 3 or 4 more carries, whatever. Yeah. You're still trying to win games. But the future is very bright with Jacoby, I think, back there. Different back, more of a speed guy. But I ain't against what you're saying. Post-game, Joey said on the fake punt that the guys were not lined up correctly. Couldn't say it was a bad decision. No, and that's the deal. A lot of times, you come back and say, well, we had some miscommunication and we weren't lined up right, and there were, 10 million different reasons why it didn't work, as opposed to, hey, that was a bad call at the time. Now, obviously, Joey thought it was a good call at the time, and Joey probably sits there and thinks it was a good call right now, that if we'd just done X, X, and X, it would have worked. I then say, and then what? And then what? you still have to do multiple things to make that pay off that you weren't currently doing. And at the time, the defense was still not getting gashed and killed. There wasn't an upside to it. You're at home. On the road, maybe. Try to get the, any sort of momentum, try to take the crowd out of it. You're trying to get the crowd into it. No. Old man ranting at clouds. You didn't have to do it. Can we fire the clock operator and replace him with kill? There's one of our YouTube guys. Are we still having trouble on YouTube? I apologize. Again, everybody subscribe to our Facebook page, Raiderland on Facebook. Also YouTube. I apologize. Good to see you. Can we fire the clock operator? I'd go a lifetime without seeing us throw another sideline screen. I hate the play in general. Now, obviously, it can be an effective play if you've got really good people and talent that can execute it and run it and do it. And I don't think Tech has that. I don't like it. But it works all the time, man, except for when it doesn't work. Oh, going back, it's Don Meredith. Okay, cool. Very cool. Don Meredith in the dark jersey for the Cowboys. I reckon Joey didn't get to blame the defense this time around, so he hit the officials. I get there were some failures with the stripes. Even Utah coach weighed in, but dang, CU didn't even play that good. They got going in the second half late, which is kind of what they do. The Utah coach, it was the Utah AD who went off. He got popped for $40,000 a day. Please don't leave, Utah. We love you in the Big 12. But yeah, Mark Harlan. Is it Mark Harlan? Mark Harlan, the Utah AD, who griped about not getting into a good conference, said no four-corner teams would ever come to the Big 12. Doesn't think they should be here, and then is griping about the Holy War game being stolen from. He was on the officials on the field last night. Can you imagine Kirby Hocutt getting flagged? We believe that he got flagged, the sideline flag late. We believe it was on Harlan, the AD. Dude's unhinged, and I'm here for it. I mean, he told Joey McGuire, hey, hold my non-alcoholic beer. No caffeine. Watch this. Utah, you're so cute. Don't leave. We're just getting to know you. Jacob on YouTube. Joey about to earn his money with tough decisions. We shall see and discuss going forward. Indeed, hard conversations will be had. Welcome to Raiderland Rewind. We're in the Arctic Air Studios tonight. All communications brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. There's a grocery store in town that sends money somewhere else. There's one that puts their name on stuff at Texas Tech. Rock on, figure it out. Incredible disappearing offense. Officiating stinks. And then what? What do you do? What do you do? We'll talk about that more as the week goes on. And then now what? Starter 179. Starter 179. Why can Coach Prime get a walk-on freshman and start at center, but we can play O-line that have been in the program 3 years? Better player. You want to get better at Texas Tech immediately? The offensive line must get exponentially better. Defensive line as well. Starts from the lines, build out. You want to spend NIL money? Spend it on the offensive line, Cody Campbell. Don't call people pink Raiders, and I know you've spent so much money. Who am I to say how to spend your offensive linemen? Offensive linemen. They tried to go out and get transfer guys that had experience, different places, that have played a lot of snaps. You know what? They're just not good enough. They may be great guys, but they're just not good enough. You got to get better. That's it. Get better on the offensive line. I agree with the clock operator. They really need to find and who, and they were horrific. Yes, and we said and he said we were down 31-20. I'm glad Chuck said it was straight, being 24-20, didn't need to fake it. Yeah. Talking about Chuck, I assume maybe Chuck Hines, one-time broadcast partner, Chuck Hines, one-time Plainview, Texas broadcaster, Chuck Hines. Yeah, it was 24-20. You're home. I don't get it. I don't understand the upside. Explain that to me. That's the deal. Fake punt or not, explain to me the upside. James is on Facebook. See, James knows that on Facebook I can't see your name. Everybody else can. I don't know why. Radio guys are learning the opinions known about the refs. That shocks me. Shocks me, I tell you. Well, I would say probably Brian Jensen was. And then John Harris was like, Brian, I really don't want to get suspended again. Can we shut the hell up about this? I know you don't have another job, but I kind of got to do this. Jared, I think the Mahomes uniforms look pretty cool on TV in a day game. Don't think they would have looked good at night. Also, didn't know that Adidas had to take their logo off so the Mahomes logo could be put on. Thank you, Adidas. Yeah, there's some sort of rule like you can only have like one sponsor logo or whatever it is. So it became that. I'm sure within the Adidas Mahomes relationship, Adidas felt like they were more than taking care of fiduciary, and the uniforms are great. They're just not great tech uniforms. And you can't see the number. There's so many things I hate about it from a football standpoint on it. If you're just standing there like 10 feet away and you're going, oh, that's really neat. But from a football uniform, no. And I hope Tech never wears them again. And it's not anything that's Tech related. You looked at that uniform and there was nothing about it that said Texas Tech. Nothing that said Texas Tech. Create a cool uniform that screams Texas Tech. That ain't it. Same old stuff. Very frustrating to watch if you can stomach it. Been doing this since the 70s. I can stomach it. Did we get outbid on offensive linemen? Just bad talent evaluation. Great question. Great question. I wouldn't say outbid. I would say that they obviously have taken a route. I'm just so freaking tired of these gnats. I'm talking about you. There are probably great linemen in the portal, that you can get. I still believe in growing offensive linemen, and I don't know what that number is. And that's a great debate over you take 5 in every class, minimum of 5 offensive linemen in every class, and another 5 defensive linemen. And you do that every year. And you try to grow them. Because offensive linemen typically aren't great. Now, there are a few, Colorado, young center and everything. There are a few that are great early. LaRaven Clark was really good, early for Texas. There are a few. But most college offensive linemen aren't great until they're juniors or seniors. They need 3 years away from high school because offensive linemen in college are full-grown men. Cornerbacks, receivers, running backs, whatever. Nope. But offensive and defensive linemen are full-grown men. So I think it's a fantastic debate point right now that we've had introduced to us because you can go out on the portal, because you can go out on the transfer waiver wire, you can go out with NIL money and, get older guys, but they haven't been in your system. And I still begin to wonder about that. That, yeah, you've got, guys from here, there, and everywhere. You throw them in August or whenever in the summer, and then you try to get them to mesh. And the best offensive lines work as a unit, not as individuals, but as a unit. I can throw a receiver out there that doesn't know anything about anything. And if he's elite, I can use him. I can do that with a running back, a cornerback, I can't do that with offensive linemen. I can do that with the edge rusher on defense. I can do that, to an extent with a linebacker. But offensive lines work as a 5-person unit. And the idea of mishmashing every year, 5 different guys or 3 here or 2 here, I don't know if it's going to work, and I think going forward, that's going to be a great question for college coaches on how they want to do that. Very good question. Glad you guys are with us tonight on Rewind. Share it with your friends, invite them in, tell them Hyatt needs gnat relief. Facebook user who, I'm sorry, I don't get to see your name. Everybody else does. We had a huge advantage with Conyers and didn't take advantage. O-line had some help in that. I get it, but damn. Conyers is, to me, going down is, it not if not wasted, moderately squandered. But then again, Mason Tharp probably feels the same way, and I don't know. Jared, as a former official, I had an AD in a small town refused to let us into the dressing room so we could leave, disagreed with the sideline penalty I called. We had to wait outside the field house until a janitor walked by and let us in. You probably deserved it. If you're an official, you probably suck. Radio guy said the uniforms were hard to read because the sun went down. Well, the sun does go down. Adidas said something about their unis reflected West Texas. Not sure. But there's nothing about the uniforms that reflected West Texas. They were cool uniforms, but not cool Tech uniforms. We can hold two thoughts individually, separate, but identical. Cool uniforms, not cool Tech uniforms, right? But I love Adidas. I love what they've done with all the uniforms at Texas Tech. Adidas has been great for Tech, much more so than anything Under Armour has ever done. Here's to Adidas. Anybody know what Adidas stands for in the 1970s and early 80s? Anyone? Anyone? Beautiful. Yeah. Bueller? Anyone? Rhetoric is on Twitter. Glad to have you out there, baby. This is a game I can replay so many what ifs. It's maddening. Again, I was traveling delayed coming out of New Mexico, northern New Mexico yesterday. So we're watching it. I'm driving. My wife has, got it on her phone. We're watching the game. We're keeping up and everything. I went a little bit to see, some highlights on the internet, different pertinent stuff. Saw the fourth quarter. I don't want to, lie to you and tell you I've seen every single play like usual. I got a pretty good grasp of what went on, though. And, yeah, the what ifs, well, that's every game to me. What if you're not kicking field goals but scoring touchdowns in the first half? What if the incredible disappearing offense didn't disappear again? And I'm beginning to wonder if once you get past the scripted nature of the offense, and then if the defense makes adjustments, beginning to wonder here that this offense ain't so good. You have to ask that question based on what we've seen, second quarters and everything else. It's like, yeah, you had man beaters all over the place. You killed it with Kelly early on, and then they make some adjustments. They throw a little more zone at you, and they're just like, well, we didn't think they'd change. We didn't know they were going to do something different. Elite wide receiver except Hudson. We'll have thoughts at the end of the year on Hudson. I don't think he's been healthy. Well, obviously he wasn't healthy. He was ill-prepared to start the season, didn't have the reps, hasn't been able to displace anybody. Kelly's had a great year at his position. We'll have thoughts at the end of the season. What is a dollar for top O lineman and defensive lineman? $500,000, $250,000, $500,000. Go a little more if you want to. What is it? Ohio State's got about a $25 million payroll right now. I think I heard that right. And a lot of it is spent, they're on the lines. We need to hit the transfer portal hard. Just look at Indiana. Indiana doing well there in the Big Ten. 10-0 Indiana. Setting up a huge game with Ohio State. You need to hit everything hard. By the way, glad you're with us on Facebook. Thanks to everybody. And again, if you watch us on YouTube, or pardon me, he's with us on YouTube. If you watch us on Facebook Live, if you watch us on Twitter, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If we're ever having problems on one, you can go there. And it looks like we're kicking in now a little bit. Get tons of viewers on Twitter and X. And sometimes I wonder if the communications come through. Jared, 08 offensive line elite, bring back those guys. Dude, they're like in their 40s now, aren't they? You know, late 30s. They're really old. 4 offensive linemen and 1 defensive lineman, 25. Need defensive line in a bad way. Ways to go, but got to get in a group. Recruiting's still early. All day I dream about soccer. Close. So close, Facebook user. So close. Surely you know the real one. Chris, all day I dream. I think Chris probably gets it. As upset as I am, says Rick on Twitter X, it's clear Colorado is a better team in my opinion. And that's why I'm not sitting here railing against the coaches of the program or everything like so many people were, because you know what my pick was on Friday from Bull of the Woods in Red River, New Mexico? Shout out to Bull of the Woods, Lifts West Hotel and Condominium for putting up with this for an extra 48 hours. I said 34-27, Colorado. That I felt like a lower scoring game favored Tech, and for the longest time it was. And I felt like the higher it crept into the 30s, it began to favor Colorado. And it really was a 34-27 game, except for the goofy-ass score. But as you degenerate bettors know, that score counts too. James. Oh, no, Jason. I thought it was James. Get up. All day I dream about. See, he knows. I don't know how old you are, but you know. What if you run Tahj twice in a row on goal line? I don't know. Give me full house backfield play action. Anything. You know. Does Kitley get a bonus based on his offensive numbers? I believe that to be true. Don't quote me, but I believe there are some triggers in his and Tim DeRuyter's contract on if you finish at a certain level in the Big 12, like on total offense, total defense, scoring offense, scoring defense, I believe they get. And that's standard for coordinators that they build in escalator clauses that if you finish here, here, and here, statistically, you get that. So that's not unusual. And I'm fine with that. You know, I love bonuses. I want guys to do good. I want them to get paid when they do good. The biggest bonus should be for wins across the board. Awesome. I hope it's what we were talking about Frito pie earlier. Homemade Frito pie. That could be good. Jared, the name is after the founder Adolf Dassler. We're talking about Adidas. He was called Addy. Small German town. Sons took it over. Huge family feud. Puma, founded by one of the brothers in the same town. Feud buried in the 2000s. Yep, the old Puma shoes back in the day. Had some. Worst cleats I think I ever wore. We wore Pumas one year, like in '83, and they were horrible. CJ on Facebook, why didn't Joey McGuire throw a fit to the refs about the face mask? No call. Again, minus, you know, I don't know if he saw it in real time. Maybe he sees it on the replay screen. I don't know. There's only so much you can do. I get you want a coach to be mad, and that's fine to be mad. And I get to the end, then what? The refs aren't going to change it. They may flag you like they did Utah's AD last night, apparently. You can strenuously voice your concern. You can do whatever. But at a certain point, what do you want to do? It's not like in basketball. You can't get a technical foul in football. You get a huge penalty, or you get thrown out like Sonny Dykes did at SMU. You know? 3-screen life. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Line of the night so far. Just getting into Raiderland Rewind, we're talking about the incredible disappearing offense. Officiating stinks, and then what? Tahj, more than deserving of the record. I can't think of anybody better as far as a dude, tough runner, everything else. And if you told me 10, 15, 20 years ago that in 2024 The all-time rushing record at Tech would be broken, given the hyper-passing nature of college football and everything else. I would have thought you were crazy. All right. Soccer ain't it. Kiss, sing a song. Let's put X into it. Nicely done. Facebook user, who everybody else can see their name and I can't. I'll be more upset if they lose to Oklahoma State. That team is dreadful. I agree. There are 2 games left. They're both winnable. Tech should win both games. They should finish with 8 wins. That elevates the bar. It may not be what you wanted given the start of the season and how we view the Big 12 right now. Doesn't matter. This program is still moving ahead under Joey McGuire by every metric over the last 25 years or so. Really is. Big Noon Kickoff was awesome. A 2-hour commercial for Tech. We asked that, thank you, Jeff, on Friday, the potential economic impact. And I'm going to check with some folks downtown in Lubbock and see if they have kind of a metric on what that earned advertising would be on Fox and to have a 2-hour commercial for Lubbock. So we'll see. Hold on. Did we catch up? Wow, that's rare. We hardly ever completely catch up on the comments. I think we caught up on the comments. So now it's time for you guys to fire away. I've given you my thoughts. You can give me yours. And then the big question now becomes, and I think we can turn this now that we've had the last half-hour discussion, number 5 on the chart tonight. Hello, chart. Now what? Now what? What do you think happens now for Texas Tech? We already had people asking, is it time for Will Hammond? I don't think so. Do you beat Oklahoma State? Do you beat West Virginia? How do you handle the off week? What about Texas Tech basketball? Can we talk more about Tech basketball? Yeah, we will. Don't worry. Lady Raiders, by the way, according to reports, hosting Alita Chavez, Monterey standout. Hasn't she been playing high school basketball for like 9 years? Finally a senior. Her official visit for the Lady Raiders. Huge week coming up. Lots of stuff to talk about. And we just finished fall ball for Tech baseball. Breaking news, Texas Tech baseball and fall ball won, and they lost. Might as well snow now. Fall ball's over. Call me in January when we see who comes back after the break. Who's healthy, who can pitch, who can't pitch, all that stuff. Facebook user, I think the Big Noon definitely did Lubbock good. Everything I was seeing on social media while we were driving basically across most of the state of New Mexico, top to bottom, sounded like it. As Spike Dykes used to say, my gosh, certainly that crowd was livid. Horrible Spike Dykes. I can do better. Go 9-4 overall, get some offensive line, defensive lineman beast. Yeah. If you win the next 2 games, and I think Tech should, you go to some little crappy bowl game and you get 9 wins hanging up, that doesn't happen very often around here. And everybody who hates Kitley or hates DeRuiter or hates Joey McGuire and says he's just a glorified high school coach and hates this and that, you got to sit there and go, that doesn't happen a lot around here, Win 2 games, bowl, still on track. Next year is critical. Every year is critical. I think I just caught a net. That's pretty good. Every year is critical. The old 4 years, no. 4 years is 3 years, and that's why I'm saying in 2 weeks, well, 3 weeks, I guess, technically. 2 more games. We'll have hard discussions about this program. I'll like Kirby Hocutt is worried. I wonder if Hyatt's going to let it play out. Diane, do you think Hyatt's going to let it play out as they have their supper tonight? I don't know. I forgot he was doing the show tonight. We should check in and see if he's going to let it play out. No, this is pretty good. I'm going to enjoy it. Where do you get this, by the way? Oh. It don't cost a thing to let it play out right now this year. But after 2 more games, yeah, hard discussions, as it should be. Peyton is on our YouTube channel. As a Tech student employee on the field, comma, what's your opinion on the attitudes from both coaches and players? As a Tech student employee on the Peyton, there's so much in that question that I can't even begin to answer it probably effectively. Come at me tomorrow with that, with a little more drilled down on what you know. I mean, what you mean on the daily broadcast, Monday night, 6:30. But give me a little bit more, or if you want to hit me on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media, I think you can DM me. I think DMs are open. Give me a little more on that, because not what my opinion on the attitudes from both coaches and players. I don't get to go down on the field, so it's hard for me to say. Seems like they try hard. Seems like they care. Escape Michelle Lujan Grisham's clutches. Barely. I'll tell you what, though. The town of Red River, New Mexico. Red is in the name. Red is in the businesses. If you know what I mean, and I think you do. Jason Big Noon kickoff was great, except the idiot that threw the can. Some people's kids. Somebody threw a can? Stay away from the cans. He hates those cans. We'll keep the conversation going as long as the conversation is good. This is Raiderland Rewind here in the Arctic Air Studios. If your air is too Arctic in the coming days, winter is coming. Get ready. You need to call the bear. All the communication on the chat lines, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter X, United Supermarkets of Market Street. Did y'all read the column today? 5 Things We Know on a Sunday. Did you? 5 Things We Know on a Sunday, theraiderland.com. Tales from the Road. Michael is on YouTube. Coach Prime has done an unbelievable job as Colorado's coach, taking a 2-win team to a most possibly Big 12 championship team. Colorado got their money's worth. Yes, they did. In every form or fashion. We said last week, we asked the question, can he really coach? Yeah, he can really coach. He has created a professional style program. He has taken what he's known in the NFL and what he knows to work, because college football is now professional football. And he has that mindset, and he's surrounded himself with those people and players that buy into it, and it works. You know what he does? You know what he understands? And I think most coaches do. He's got them, though. Speed. Facebook user whose name you guys can see and I can't, begs the question, what if it's a split in the last 2 or 0-2? Well, that begs the question. Then we have a discussion then, don't we? I don't think it will be. Could be a split. Yeah. If it's 0-2, that sucks. Peyton, I mean, Colorado players and coaches mainly taunting the student section and recording, trying to get a reaction. Okay, I wasn't down there. I don't know that. Maybe there's some social media. If that was going on, that sucks. That's crap. So how much does Joey get fined by the Big 12? I think he may get a letter of reprimand. He danced the line. And by the way, thank you, Harlan at Utah, who said, hold my non-alcoholic beer. Watch this. Took a lot of pressure off Joey. Joey probably gets a letter of recommendation. Dear Joey, good luck, Brett Yormark. Probably a sternly worded letter of reprimand. I don't think he's going to get fined. Going back to the Big Noon deal, someone crushed a Mountain Dew can, flung it towards the stage, hit one of the Fox personalities. Well, that's stupid. And I hope everybody in the crowd identified the person and beat them to a bloody pulp. Vigilante justice works. Draconian measures work. I hope they identified him and beat the hell out of him. If not, it's on you. Same thing with the people throwing trash and crap on the field during the game. If that happens around you, beat the hell out of the people. There's 5 of you. There's one of them. I guarantee you can take him. Throat punch. Thought you'd be taller. I get that a lot. Colorado true freshman center was all smiles every play. Kid is from Rockwall. You got like a center who smiles while he works, I don't know that my son, who played center, smiled a whole lot there. He did smile actually probably a lot during the game. he had a lot of fun. But that was kind of his, come to think of it, that's kind of how I think he talked trash and everything at times, was smiling and mocking. Yeah, he was a trash talker. A lot of folks did not like playing against him, and I appreciate that. Truly do. A few more minutes, your questions, your thoughts. We go from here. We ask what happens next. This week again, we get into more basketball with an open date. Really kind of want to thank the schedule for breaking, that we can kind of begin to really decipher what this Texas Tech men's basketball team is going to be all about. Lady Raiders, we got a lot of new faces too working in, just like all college basketball. But for the men, a few early injuries, health concerns, whatever you want to call it, that we're not really getting to see maybe exactly what they're going to look like anymore. If you can, by December 15th, have your roster out there. You got that game is it on the 15th or 16th? Yeah. ORU on the 16th, and you get a little break. You get Christmas and UCF. You need to kind of be who you are by mid-December now for Texas Tech basketball. And if you feel good about that on that date, then we see what happens early on. Hard to believe we're already talking about that. Jeez. All right, you guys are the best. I want you to go check out our column 5, not 4, not 6. 5 things we know on a Sunday, Tales from the Road. Check it out, theraiderland.com. After we post this, I'm going to eat some supper. I'm going to put this on our main page at theraiderland.com. Then I want you guys to go out and share it. It's already live on Twitter and Facebook. You can share it on your pages and forward it to people and do all that stuff. YouTube, same thing. I think you guys on YouTube can share it. And I'll ask again, everybody, whether you're a Facebook denizen or a Twitter X denizen, go sign up, subscribe on YouTube. Don't cost nothing. And then, grow that, and it'll help get the metrics and everything else going. I don't know how that works, but that's what it does. And give thumbs up, whatever that means. Y'all are the best audience. I love this format. People ask me, man, do you miss being on terrestrial radio? No, I do radio every day, but I do it with you guys. I do it in a format and a fashion that I think is even better. And we reach even more people than, some crappy little station that can only go like 15 miles. We're going 1,500 miles, maybe even farther. We're going to do that tomorrow. See the farthest away people are watching the show, taking the show in by mileage. Just one more reason why I love doing this, and radio is so meh. All right. There's a button up here. It says end stream. If you're a man of a certain age, that may mean something different than ending the broadcast. Got to hit this one. Got to hit that. We'll see you tomorrow in the morning. Helmet stickers. We asked you the question, what do you know to start the week? We'll have Raiderland hot links ready to go for you bright and early. So get ready out there. Thanks for being a part of the program. It's Frito Pie time in Raiderland.